Hi everybody, I'm Jeff Burkhardt. I'm a new attorney here in Walla Walla, so thank you for welcoming me to your group. Mr. Young, I was glad to hear you describe yourself as a hardcore conservative. I'd also call myself that too. And I'm pretty much as anti-tax as they come. For all of you, I'd like to hear and gauge how well you can advocate for conservative principles. So I'd like you to answer this simple question. Why are you against Washington State implementing an income tax?
I think your question was, why are we against an income tax? Is that what I heard? Just to make sure we're clear.
Yeah.
Well, we've not had an income tax in the history of the state of Washington. I think it would be very, very difficult to pass that in the legislature. I'm opposed to it. I'm familiar enough with the tax structure as it is. I admit there are pros and cons to the income to the state with using an income tax or not. Certainly there's a lot of businesses that have moved to the state of Washington. There are certainly a lot of retired folks that have moved to the state of Washington for the sole reason there's not an income tax. And that's very important that we have that business and those bright folks here, and they bring in taxes to the state of Washington by spending money and so we gain it through the sales tax, we gain it through the retail excise tax on the sale of homes and other real estate. So that's of course what helps make up the lack of income tax. So I'm opposed to the income tax, and those are the reasons.
Frankly, there's the rational world. If you were to listen to the argument of why we should have a mixture of different revenue sources, it all sounds great. But I don't have a whole lot of faith in us politicians, frankly, especially Democrats, because if the beachhead gets established of any income tax without doing away with something else in its entirety, I have no faith that things wouldn't get ratcheted up in a fairly short order. So that's there. Again, if rationally there are some valid arguments, but looking at our experience, I don't think that that's one that we should come close to touching. And that's until I hear a better idea. I'm a fiscal conservative and absolutely believe unless I hear something better, I'm not going to go with anything to do with income tax whatsoever.
And I'll just tell you, I concur absolutely with what Matt just said, because we've seen it in other states. Income tax is fine. It may be the fairest way to apply it, but it doesn't work that way, because the minute that's not enough money, then you got a 2% sales tax, and the next thing you know, you got 2.5%. But that happens here anyway. I used to be able to do sales tax in my head when it was 5%, but then when I got to 8.3, I had to change. So anyway, I'm definitely against the income tax. And exactly for what Matt said, and I don't think it's bad sometimes to have the same ideas as Republicans. So, but that is it. I can't see us going there.
I believe with anything that the government does concerning your money, not the government's money, that when they propose they're going to take some of your money and spend it, it needs to pass a sniff test, as they say. I don't believe that the government is responsible with your money, with my money, with our money. I believe that they should keep their hands out of our pocketbooks, and I know there's resources that the state needs, that the government needs to carry on with programs. They've already got money going into the general fund for that. I believe that they're going to have a tax system in this state, or any tax system across the country, it should be more of a user fee so you know what your money is going for, so you know what it supports. Our gas tax is one of those. We know that the gas tax goes for the construction, for the maintenance, for the engineering, for the planning and designing of those roads. It does not go anywhere else. So a sales tax is probably the fairest way. I know that we need taxes, but no new taxes will be passed if I have anything to do with it. And that's all I've got to say.